Let's make sure all the ones outside, let them come inside. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Zoom. Be ready for the national anthem. Let's be upstanding for the national anthem. Land of wake and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for the right. We won freedom's fight. Oh, one strong and free. Praise me, praise me, praise me. Zambia, Zambia, Zambia. Free men we stand under the flag of our land. Zambia, praise to thee. Oh, one strong and free. Thank you very much. Let's keep, as we are standing, ask Bishop Mwamba and President Unit to give us an opening prayer.
Let us pray.
Let us pray. We thank you, O God, for the gift of this day and the gift of this moment. You are the God of love, the God of justice, the God of righteousness, the God of peace. Fill us with your Spirit, that we as your children may emulate and live out your love, your peace, your justice, and your righteousness. Bless Zambia and bless our people. We ask all this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Let's get seated. Let's get seated. Thank you. Those who are coming, if they are coming in, please let them come. I've seen some women there. If they are coming, let them hurry up. Let them carry up a chair, Rio, let them hurry up. A short chorus just a short, to say to our friends who are coming in.
Nimwe
you very much. Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, let's be seated, please. Let's be seated. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay. Let's get settled, please. Mr. Chairman, Council of Leaders of all opposition political parties present, the clergy present, the civil society, leaders from other political parties are present, our good friends, the media, ladies and gentlemen, not forgetting the reason why we hear the cadres and leaders from ward, constituency, district, province, and everywhere where you are coming from. We are here, Mr. Chairman, this morning to organize ourselves for a very important and solemn duty and purpose. We have heard a clarion call from the people of Zambia. Mr. Chairman, everywhere in the world, to succeed, we all must get along and united. And with the help from the friends and family, that's the reason we are here, to organize ourselves and get united. Helping each other, Mr. Chairman, to help Mother Zambia. This union is imperative for us to defeat this dictatorship we see today in Zambia. I therefore welcome you all and beseech all of us to be honest first and foremost with ourselves and then with each other. Let us make no mistake. Our competitor is shameless, fearful, and desperate. We are faced with a big, desperate coward, and such a coward could prove to be dangerous. The coward is always afraid of any disagreement. Mr. Chairman, we need resolute leadership and courage to redeem our country. I welcome you all in the name of solidarity, unity, and love. Mr. Chairman, I have the singular honor of inviting you to do the honors. And before I do that, I want just to have another short chorus from the choir as I tell you who this chairman we are welcoming, who he is to you and to all of us and to Zambia. A short song. Thank you. Maybe before I zero in on the chairman, we need to know who is here. starting from the chairman himself, the vice chairman, and the president. At this point, I will ask each one of them to say their names in case I make a mistake. Starting with you, Chairman.
I don't believe that you can make a mistake on any of our names. We've been together for so long and working so well. My name is Sakwiba Scotta. I'm from the United Liberal Party and I'm the interim chair of this consortium of opposition parties.
Leo was minus Bambu. Mwazuka Bwanji. Mwashuke Mpongwa Iwose. Eya Mtuwari. Mwabuka Nyonse. Kabo Tutwalumba. My names are Auxilia Bupe Ponga from the Zambia We Want, and I am the interim vice chairperson of this consortium. You are Tishala Kateka, Ninebo President, New Heritage Party.
Muchapeti. Mwapeli mwaze mkwani. Mwaine Ninebo Kapeko wa Simbao. Ninebo President wa Zambia We Want.
Mwakabanji. Tigo César. Remember in the Bible when the Spirit fell upon the disciples, and it was an hour, and they said they are drunk. You are full of the Spirit. My name's Bishop Musonda Travis Wanda, and I am the president of UNIP, United National Independent Party.
Mwimbaji Mose, Mwokondwa, Mko Wanadi Dino Okondwa. In zina langa Dino Mohamed Mungu, the Secretary General wa the Zambia We Want, and also the interim Secretary General of the consortium. Oh, I'm also being reminded that I'm the Secretary General, interim Secretary General, and also the spokesperson for the interim for our consortium. It's happy to see all of you. I can see all of you in London.
I had promised you that I will introduce, not in detail, just brief in less than a minute, who the interim chairman is. Sakwiba Scotta, State Council. He's the president of the United Liberal Party and also, like I said, the interim chairman. He has served as chairman of the Law Association of Zambia for 2 terms. He served as chairman of the Law Association of Zambia for 2 terms. He has represented several accused persons in treason, espionage, and sedition cases, including representing the first Republican president Dr. Kenneth David Kaunda citizenship case. In addition, he represented the fourth Republican president, Mr. Rupia Bwezani-Banda, in his immunity removal case. He served 2 terms in national legislative as a member of parliament for Livingston constituency between 2001 and 2011, where he chaired several parliamentary select committees for ratification for various judges to the High Court and Supreme Court. He graduated in 1980 from Kahere University in the United Kingdom with honors degree majoring in law and politics. He was called to the bar in December 1981. 1982, postgraduate diploma in international law. This is a man and a leader we are honored to have this morning in our midst, and who has ably served as interim chair for this consortium. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairperson, as the Vice would want to refer to him, the Honorable Sakwiba Scotta, State Council, it is my rare honor and privilege to invite you to address the people.
Muzuire chwani. Muzuire hande. That's nice to hear. I think that with all of the greetings that we were making, the various members up here, I think we have covered the whole of Zambia. Isn't that great? And that's the spirit that we should always have, the spirit of Zambia. To the Vice Chair of our consortium, to the Master of Ceremony, and to my colleagues, but more importantly, to you, our members who have come here this morning. We greet you all. We also greet the people of Zambia who are tuned in and listening. And we have called you all out here because we think this is a very important day and that we have a very important message to give to yourselves, the people of Zambia, and indeed the whole world. We welcome you all in the spirit that we are one Zambia. Zambians throughout the nation are deeply concerned with the trajectory of our country. Different sections of our society feel disjointed from other sections of society. We need to get where people clearly see that we are one Zambia. Mistrust and suspicion of each other is sadly taking hold. An unfortunate us and them culture is cementing itself in our society. Even the Grundnorm, by the way, means the Constitution. The Grundnorm, which is the law that gives legitimacy to all other laws, is being bastardized. The Grundnorm, from which all other laws and norms are derived, is no longer being put in its rightful place. It should be the ultimate rule that gives validity to everything else. That is how important the Constitution is. A Constitution has to be a people's document. It should be a document that brings us together and not one that tears the nation apart. It is not something that should even give rise to controversy. A constitution is something that should never be rushed. Whenever Zambians have faced a difficult or critical time, they have overcome the national crisis by coming together. Constitutional problems cannot be solved by one mind. No one has the monopoly of wisdom. Such was the case in 1964 when the soon-to-be Zambians came together and pushed through their demand for independence. In 1990, many Zambian minds came together to push through change to multi-party democracy. Again, in 1996, a multitude of Zambian minds came together to reject the third-term bid. In the run-up to independence, the freedom fighters put aside their own personal ambitions for the greater good. The likes of Reuben Kamanga, Scotta Wina, Simon Kapwekwe, Mainza Chona, Peter Matoka, and many others came together from all corners of Zambia. Each one of these, in their own right, could have been president of Zambia, but their focus was for the greater good of the country and not their own personal gain. Change of the constitutional order was paramount and drove the general Zambian population together. It was not only the unique politicians who came together to fight for our independence, but even Nalumino Mundia's United Party, UP, and Harry Mwanga Kumbula's African National Congress, ANC, put Zambia's independence before their own desire to lead. You had people who made great sacrifice to advance the fight. A great number did so, even though there was going to be no personal gain for themselves. A case in point is Mama Julia Chikamoneka. She made those sacrifices not with a wish to become a leader or personally gain, but for Zambia. That is the spirit that we should all have, the Julia Chikamoneka spirit. There are those who sacrificed to fight for the oppressed masses, even though they were considered to be part of the privileged class themselves. People like Simon Zukas, he fought so hard for the oppressed blacks that he was even deported. You could say Zukas had it all, but he was willing to lose it all for the greater good of others. Again, we must all adopt the Zukas spirit. The proponents for freedom from oppression often faced state-sponsored violence and were often persecuted and imprisoned. However, this did not stop them. Sadly, some lost their lives. That selflessness birthed Zambia. That selflessness is why we are one Zambia. The courage to to even face persecution and imprisonment is what ultimately emancipated us, freed us. That oneness and unity made us overcome the colonial oppression. That oneness translated in one Zambia, one nation. I thank my brother President of UNIP, who in the very beginning made us all chant, one Zambia, one nation. One Zambia, one nation. Thank you. At independence, they had a collective leadership. There was a team representing Zambia. Over time, however, this was eroded, and the country slowly moved into a situation where the team was not so important, but one man loomed large over everyone else. There's no one who knows it all. One man can never be the only person capable of leading Zambia. One man cannot be the only one who can fix Zambia. Zambians are not looking for a Messiah that we should all bow down to. If we fast forward to 1990, we find that the country again was facing a constitutional crisis that needed to be resolved, decided that it was time for minds to come together and give strength to each other. We were in a state of emergency when people could be detained at short notice and put away without trial. In spite of this, people were still brave enough to come out and protest for what they wanted. They came together to fight against the one-party state. Like in the run-up to 1964, questions of the Constitution make Zambians come together to fight. The spirit that we are one Zambia took hold again. You had diverse characters working together. You had senior citizens like Arthur Winner and Humphrey Mulemba working with young Turks such as Mbita Chitala and Akachamata Bikusita Liwanika. You had trade unionists like Frederick Chiluba working together with businessmen like Simon Zukas and John Mususu Kalenga. You had legalists like Levi Patrick Mwanawasa working together with people fresh out of prison on presidential pardon, such as Edward Jack Shamwana. You had young revolutionary minds like Edith Nawakwi and Baldwin Kongola working with diplomatic students like Vernon Mwanga. You had students working with academicians. You had the young working with the old. In fact, the young played a very pivotal role in the 1991 revolution and helped to resolve that constitutional crisis. In 1991, the students' movement, particularly at the University of Zambia, played a critical role in bringing back multi-party system of government. They were principled and steeped in the conviction of what was right for the country. Among its most fundamental contributions was the bringing together to the dialogue table of the incumbent government of the United National Independence Party and the movement for multi-party democracy. This dialogue meeting, spearheaded by the students, brought together the key players of the two parties at a neutral venue and under a neutral chairperson in order to agree on the basic minimum values and actions required to hold a successful election in October 1991. Both the venue and the chairperson of the meeting had to be agreed upon by all the players. This was critical in ensuring that all parties felt comfortable with the trustworthiness and legitimacy of the process. Among those minimum values was the constitutional bill arising out of the Mfunga Commission. At the time the Mulunguchi Conference meeting was being held, the constitutional bill had already passed second reading. So if you hear some people telling you that currently at the stage we're at it's too late, remind them about what the students did in 1990. The bill was at second reading stage. The MMD and many stakeholders felt that UNIP had bulldozed its will on the people and did not include the views of the main opposition party in particular. Tensions were rising in the country, and the MMD began to indicate the possibility of an election boycott. Violence, sentiments, and insurrection became a clear possibility, if nothing towards an honest dialogue process was initiated. We should always learn from the past. At the meeting organized by the students, President Kaunda withdrew the bill from Parliament at the demand of the meeting, setting the stage for a church-brokered process, which convened a week later at the Cathedral of the Holy Cross. Both parties chose eminent and competent individuals to study the bill, make proposed amendments, and withdrawals of certain clauses. Both parties took a give and take position and subsequently made compromises which allowed the bill to return to Parliament for final approval. It was under these conditions that the elections of 1991 were held. UNIP and Kaunda could have taken a hard stance and could have used the arrogance of numbers to bulldoze the process. However, to the great credit of President Kaunda, he chose instead to be magnanimous and chose the country's welfare above his own personal desires. This was a true exhibition of leadership and love for the nation. To wallow in the approval of those who support you is easy. However, to confront with humility those who oppose you is a true mark of a nationalist. It is our hope that this type of humility and leadership competence could be exhibited by the current administration. They should exhibit it in the way they're dealing with Bill 7. We have clearly rejected the process of Bill 7, its timing, its premise and many of the clauses within it being proposed. It is not wise to ignore our grievances, and in preference for those who have seen nothing wrong with Bill 7. In a democracy, it is the voice of the dissenter that must take priority, especially when the dissenting voices are clearly in the majority, as we are. Today's young students should play a similar role as their 1990 colleagues. The youth should ensure that we are one Zambia. I'm going to embarrass someone who doesn't know that he's in this speech. There is a gentleman at the end of this table. His name is Mohabi Lungu. I'll ask him to stand so that those who may not know him will know him. Mohabi Lungu is one of those students who brought together UNIP and MMD to talk. Please give him a big hand. Mohabi Lungu, with his colleagues, others such as Gregory Cornhill, others like Fabian Mumba and others, are the ones who did this. And prosperity is in their favor. Today we're able to have him stand up and you all clap for him because of what he did. The challenge is to the youth of today, those at the university today. They should emulate what the Mohabi Lungus, the Fabian Mumbas, the Gregory Cornhills did, so that they too, in their later life, will be applauded by gatherings such as this. They should seriously look at how we are going to look at them in the future. I hope that you will go and call upon the students and give them a few lectures as to how they should conduct themselves. Again, in the run-up to independence, that demand for, like in the run-up to independence, that demand for change was achieved as a result of selflessness and collective desire to serve Zambia. It was arrived at because of the courage to even face possible persecution and imprisonment. It was arrived at because of that oneness and unity which made us overcome the negative parts of the one-party system. All of the above ingredients are what ultimately emancipated us. So I'll ask each one of you here, are you selfless and having a collective desire to save Zambia? Yes. I can't hear you.
Yes. Zambia!
You want!
Zambia!
We want!
Zambia!
We want!
I was going to ask you a series of questions which I want you to answer to. Are you ready to be selfless and have a collective desire to save Zambia?
Yes.
Do you have the courage to even face possible persecution and imprisonment?
Yes.
Do you have that oneness and unity to overcome the problems we currently have?
Yes.
Then we are one. We are one together with you. Everybody up front here, just like yourself, is ready to make those sacrifices. In 1995 and 96, you had a constitutional crisis again with a desire to have a third term. There are certain people who stood out, who made sacrifices. If you remember, there were the 22 who resigned from their cabinet positions. In fact, not just cabinet positions, you even had the vice president, Christian Temple, resigning, being vice president, and other ministers resigned because of the third term. That was people putting aside their own personal well-being for the greater good. That is the spirit that we need to get to. That is the spirit everybody up front here is willing to do. We are all willing to make sacrifices for the greater good. So today, when we have Bill 7, let us approach it in the manner that the freedom fighters approached the fight for independence. Let us approach it in the manner that those who fought against the one-party state approached it. Let us make similar sacrifices like those who resigned because of the third term bid. Then we shall overcome. Bill 7, we thought was over. We thought the Bill 7 constitutional fire had been extinguished by the Constitutional Court, which, by the way, is the court which has the last word on the Constitution. On 27th June, in the Munia Zulu case. And once something is nullified, it is dead. That's what nullification means. The Constitutional Court nullified Bill 7. It died on 27th June 2025. Everybody who values the rule of law was shocked, therefore, because the arsonists who lit the Bill 7 fire have relit it again, and this week thrown the flaming mess back into Parliament. The serial arsonist aims to make future enlargements of the number of seats in Parliament something they can do anytime at a whim, as these changes will only require a simple majority in Parliament. A ridiculous number of nominations are to be handed over to the President, which he can increase and change at will by mere simple majority. Ladies and gentlemen, these nominations are like a carton box of matches being given to an arsonist at a filling station. That's how irresponsible it is. We cannot give the arsonist Bill 7 to burn us all down. Oppressive cybercrime laws are enacted and used to silence Zambian people. Hate crime laws are being operated in a hateful way against citizens. Public order laws have been changed without legislation and now require that you get a permit from the police. Live streaming is about to be outlawed, so that even if you went to live stream a wedding or a funeral, you will have to get a permit. If that law passed, the live streaming we're doing now today could be stopped at the whim of the government. In the difficulties we face in our country, my brothers and sisters, we need to rededicate ourselves to the noble spirit that inspired and guided our founding fathers. It is sad that tribalism and regionalism have become so pronounced in today's Zambia. Tribalism and regionalism seem to be on everybody's lips, from the common man on the Kalingalinga or Chimwemwe minibus to the very top national office. A lot of things are being said through a regionalism and tribal megaphone, as things are being looked at through a tribal or regional lens. Gladly together, Zambians are again coming together and saying they want to live as one people. They want real change. We, the parties you see here, and other eminent senior officials and the independent organizations have been discussing for a while on the best way of pooling our financial, intellectual, and human resources to get Zambia out of this crisis. We all recognize that the difficult problems we face today cannot be solved by one mind. No one mind will succeed to do so in a manner that does not lead to a total mess and bring about chaos and instability. Not only have Zambians and citizens in the diaspora been calling for us to come together, but even just yesterday, the Oasis Forum passionately made the same call. To all of those who have been making the calls, I want to say, we have listened. Attempts have been made in the past to form political alliances before elections, and these have failed on the most part. We took time to look at the pitfalls past alliances fell into to avoid the same mistakes. We saw that some of the pitfalls were having issues over determination of a flag bearer, lack of transparency in dealings amongst participants, focus being about parties and individuals rather than of what is to be delivered to the people of Zambia, and some people having the notion that the flag bearer mantle is a right to themselves and not being willing to accept that it would be any one of your colleagues who will be flag bearer. We do not believe in the Messiah or Great Savior syndrome, but working together as a team. It's about teamwork. We shall present a balanced and credible team that Zambians can be confident in. We are coming together for real change, and this means that we will address the cost of living by enacting policies to reduce the cost of living, such as price control, subsidies, and social protection programs. Our coming together for real change means we shall have better governance with zero tolerance for corruption. Our coming together means we shall support agriculture. We shall also bring real change by promoting inclusive politics. Later on, when the Vice Chair is telling you about our program, she will be expanding on how we are going to be making it more inclusive rather. Slip of the tongue. Zambians are demanding that we are one Zambian alliance. That is why we call upon all of you to come together as we are one Zambia, one nation. Because of that, we have come together under the name We Are One Zambia Alliance. In short, we are WOZA. Have you heard that? WOZA. 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 That is a call which says come. That is what WOZA means. We are saying to all Zambians, come, let's hold hands. Let's come together like our freedom fighters in 1964, like those who fought for multi-party democracy, like those who fought against the third term bill. Let's come together. We are One Zambia Alliance. And behind me, you're going to see our logo and also can I hear you out there? WOZA! 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 And WOZA means we are coming together for real change. So when I say WOZA, answer back, we are coming together for real change. WOZA! We are coming together for... We are coming together for... We are coming together for... WOZA! WOZA! Thank you very much. Before, hello? I think that we've just demonstrated to you what real change does. By changing that microphone, I think you can hear us better, isn't it? At this point, before I sit down, I will ask all of us to be upstanding so that we can give a minute's silence for the late 6th Republican President, His Excellency President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, who, as you all know, strongly called for the opposition to come together in the manner we're doing to work as one. So can we bow our heads and give a moment's silence? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Another round of applause to the chairman. WOZA! WOZA! Thank you very much, Chairman, for very inspiring speech and for ably delivering the message to the people of Zambia. Many thanks. Before I call on the next speaker, may I ask, please give water to the people. bapeni kwa meshina kukava te bonse abatumbuka muno abatumbuka bano bamenshi mulifya abatumbuka abanono muno majority batonga n'abalozi n'ababembe. So please give the water. Please start giving from front and back so that we do it quickly. Bring those waters in front and back. And kalwimbo como ingemba bonse kalwimbo bale peramenshi kalwimbo wa paki oza hurry up please. Please help to give water so that we finish. I don't want the next speaker, when he's speaking, for people to be moving. Please hurry up. Are we almost done? Akalwimbo babaki apati matsana nchimwela sana na mushima One Zambia. One nation. Okay, I'll give a minute and then water should stop. Okay, let's get seated. Let's get seated. Hello. Hello there. Rio. Where's Rio? There, in that corner. that corner, real. Okay, Kunumoko, please let's stop giving water. One Zambia? Okay. Okay, let's sit down. Whether for the yellow, can you please sit down? Mr. Chairman, before I proceed to call on the next speaker, Chairman. Okay. Thank you. Before I proceed to call on the next speaker, Mr. Chairman, allow me to recognize the presence of one of the eminent Zambian, a physician by training, a man who could operate on a day-old baby. As a young tech in 1990-91, participated in the change that we all desperately needed. Dr. Kawimbe then, mwela fuere yellow, mwamkwete problem hapo ima mwela kwete yellow hapo. Ima mwela fuere yellow hapo. Okay. Dr. then Kawimbe, now Professor Boniface Kawimbe. Sir, we recognize your presence. He's part of the team that the chairman was referring to. The people that brought change to Zambia. The other person I want to recognize is one of the young, eminent and prolific leader in this country. He has participated in a number of projects in this country. He's an entrepreneur and is a man who has participated in bringing development to Zambia. This is no other than Kelvin Kaunda. We recognize your presence, leadership, and we thank you for coming to support this cause. Mr. Chairman, the next speaker is Antiford Mayele Banda. He's an accountant and an entrepreneur and president of People's Alliance for Change. Just at 27, he worked in DRC, in the Democratic Republic of Congo. He and other young, ambitious Zambians formed the People's Alliance for Change, PAC, in 2015. They had no political experience, but they went ahead. Antiford Mayele Banda is the youngest person to have stood for presidency in Zambia, just at the age of 35. As a leader over the years, PAC has grown to be a recognized political party, performing well in general elections and by-elections. In 2016, Antiford Mayele Banda stood for presidency for the first time and came out number 9. Number 4. Okay. In 2021, he repeated that feat and he came out number 4 out of 16 candidates. 2016 and 2021. So please allow me and please join me in welcoming Antiford Mayele Banda.
Tiko sesa. Woza tiko sese. 2026.
2026? Chenjai. Thank you very much. The chairman or the chairperson, as the VC would say. We are One Zambia Alliance, WOZA, the vice chairperson, the Council of Presidents on my left, and the Council of Presidents on my right. The able Secretary General and Spokesperson, Mr. Muhabi Lungu, who has been in politics, the Chief Liaison Officer, and our international relationship experts, all executive and political party members of Alliance political parties, the media, all dignitaries present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored and humbled to be here today to be part of history and the beginning of a new journey that will change the trajectory of our politics. And yes, this we shall do. WOZA. Welcome to organized politics. Can't you see how organized we are? Yes. Most of us are used to confusion in politics. But the days of confusion in politics is long gone. In March 2022, towards the Kenya general elections, a group of political parties came together to form an alliance which they called Azimio la Umoja. That's a Swahili phrase. In English, that phrase means resolution to unite, or a pledge of unity. Today, our resolution to unite is not just about politicking. It is to work together in consultation with the people of Zambia to also deal with the issues of economic emancipation. The question in many Zambians' minds is that, why is it that since independence, our country keeps getting poor, and yet we see so many resources of copper and other minerals getting out of the border? Why is it that almost every president we've had in this country boasts about growing the economy, bringing investors, and yet the majority of the Zambians keep getting poorer and poorer? In fact, according to the Zambia Statistics Agency, Living Conditions and Monitoring Survey of 2022, poverty levels in Zambia went up from 54% to 60%. And as you may all remember, that in the 2023-2024 rain season, Zambia experienced a drought, which affected our crop yield, including the energy sector, greatly, and we have not yet recovered. What does that mean when we only have 3 hours of power for production? It means that we can't produce more and we can't create jobs. This means that from the 2022 statistics from the Zambia Statistics Agency, where it was informed that poverty levels went from 54% to 60%, the poverty levels keep going up because there's no power. Without power, there's no production. Without production, there are no jobs. This is withstanding the fact that the World Bank produced a report where they say that Zambia needs to produce about 10 million jobs by 2050. Do you know how many jobs we should produce per year? 400,000 jobs per year. And yet you have a government that is employing people in the civil service, 50,000 from 2021 to now, or 60,000, and they're so proud of that. What a shame. The other question is that, Why is it that every government boasts of growing the economy? Have you ever heard a president who has said the economy is not growing? From all the presidents we've had, have you ever heard one president saying, no, the economy is not growing? Everyone says the economy is growing. You know, the statistics are doing well. But the Zambian people can't feel anything. The reason for all this is because, well, we Zambians gained independence on 24th October 1964. We did not get economic independence. The economy of Zambia is largely foreign-owned, from the mining sector, banking and financial services sector, the manufacturing, including simple things like lock making. Zambians have to compete with foreign companies for cleaning tenders. Zambians have to compete with other companies in travel agencies, security, including selling of second-hand vehicles. Sure. Young people that are here, ukala na company upanga ma block. Can you fail to be selling second-hand vehicles? Apart from the fact that this economy is largely foreign-owned, is that we have failed as a country to create deliberate policies that would protect local businesses. We allow every Jim and Jack to dump all sorts of goods in Zambia, which kills the local industry. The industries can't grow when goods are coming from everywhere. And yet the cost of production here is high because we don't have power. And many other issues such as high taxes. Fellow citizens, there is no country in the world that has ever developed without the owners, the citizens, having a major stake in the economy. You can go to America, you can go to Europe, you can go to Russia, you can go to Asia. All those countries have developed because why? The owners have a major stake in the economy. There's no country in the world that has developed if there are no policies to protect local businesses. So, when the government is giving you all these good statistics that the economy is growing, just know that the reason why we can't feel it is because we don't do what? We don't own the economy. It is for this reason that today our resolve to come together and join hands is not just politicking as a matter of emphasis. Is to call you and the majority people of Zambia to come together so that we can reclaim this country and ensure that Zambians have got a major stake to play in the economy. The colonial mentality that Zambians can't do this or do that is long gone. Zambians are now educated, they are now experienced, they are now exposed. So all of us, we're at a time where we are able to do a whole lot of things that people say we can't. Our friends in Nigeria have given us a good example. We have the Dangotes that are doing cement. Dangote runs the biggest oil refinery in the world, and yet is a black man, a Nigerian. So why can't we do that? Why can't we have Zambians, having a stake in the mining sector? Individual Zambians, not as a government, but individual Zambians and many other sectors. So we, as WOZA, would like to call upon the people of Zambia, let's come together, let's reclaim our country, let's work together to protect each other. Zambia, let's be united. WOZA for economic freedom. WOZA for owning the country. I would like you now to look at your neighbor and say to your neighbor, look at your neighbor. This is our Zambia. This is our Zambia. We must own our Zambia. must own our Zambia. And we shall own our Zambia. Woza. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Andy Ford-Vanda, one of the very few disciplined Easterners who was able to stick to the time allocated to him. Very short chorus, very short. Chairman, you've seen these Tumbukas. They didn't sing for you. I'll see them outside. The next speaker, Mr. Chairman, Chishala Kateka. She's an economist and a fellow chartered accountant. She has an honorary doctorate in international relations. She stood in the August 2021 presidential election under the banner of the New Heritage. She has been CEO for Kafue Textile, which was the largest integrated textile company in sub-Saharan Africa, the National Economic Diversification Task Force, ZAMNET. She became the first woman ever appointed at Barclays, Zambia, or now APSA, PLC, as well as the Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, CCPC, boards as their chairperson. She also served on various other boards and committees. From 2012 to December 2017, she represented African jurisdiction on the International Ethics Standard Board of Accountants and of the International Federation of Accountants in New York. She is also the president of the New Heritage Party. Please help me in welcoming our Iron Lady, Chishala Kateka.
Thank you. In the interest of time, I will write on the protocols that have been set. And thank you so much for being here. Woza! 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 Kasimbo Nyakaini. W. Woza! 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 Okay, thank you very much. I would like you to pay a lot of attention. When we talk about the Constitution, we must understand why we are focusing on the Constitution. It sounds boring, but let me explain something. What Mr. Banda here, President Banda has said, that as a nation, we have stayed poor because we did not gain our economic independence. We gained our political independence in 1964. We gained our democracy in 1991. But what we have failed to do is to become economically independent. Now, why is that the case? The reason why is we have leaders who do not help us to become economically independent. They get in there and they think about themselves. They sell Zesco Power, they sell this, they sell that. Then they start to play imingalato with our constitution so that they can stay in power. Echo tuleluisha. So, nga mwamona ati tulekokola pali constitution, mwila monati twaliba boring. It's because nga tatuwinine tetituchitevifilelanda babanda. It's not possible. We have to get into government to effect our plans, yes. Yeah. Now, they failed to govern us. Govern. You've had the worst power cuts ever. The highest prices of whatever ever. The highest prices of fuel ever. The highest exchange rate ever. Then they say, no, natuchite bill 7. And we are saying, no, you can't do that. So that mwikadilile. Atuamuyayaya. No. Now, let me quickly explain. Our constitution is an expression of the will of the people, reflecting who we are as Zambians, reflecting our collective values and aspirations, what we want to become as a people. Because we've also got vision, Stefio. Yeah, it's a social contract for and amongst the Zambians. It's a statement of how we want to be governed, and therefore it establishes the framework for the exercise of power and authority in our society. This means that before it even becomes a legal document, it reflects who we are. It's a product of our people's collective history, our culture, and political evolution. It is the result of a collective struggle, negotiation, and compromise among different us. You know, we come from different places, but we agree to this thing, right? Now, the problem that we have had with our constitution is that constantly Zambians have been cheated out of this constitution-making process. When they come and they do this tinkering with our constitution, even when we say this is what we want, per last minute they throw out the report and they say, no, chala baso. And yet, it's supposed to come from the people. What is important to note in all these constitution amending processes was that even when some attempt was made for a people-driven process, the end product was invariably imposed by the ruling political party, whichever that was, and as you can see what is happening now, to use as a weapon to extend and consolidate their stay in power. Let's not be lied to. They are doing this because they want to stay in power. Why do you want to stay in power when you are not serving the people? We have to ask that question. This being what we have experienced, we strongly believe that the time has come. The time has come for us to make a fresh start and give ourselves a constitution that truly reflects our collective will as Zambians, whose processes should be for the complete overhaul of the existing constitution and which we will all agree to. It must address, number one, the rule of law. The rule of law states that all of us, we are all equal before the law. Some people should not be above the law and some people below the law. Amen? Not that somebody in Kabulonga gets away with something, somebody in Maripole at 2 years in prison. Why? Protection of human rights. The Constitution must protect and promote fundamental human rights. Number 3, separation of powers. This is the one, this one here, this one. This is killing us, okay? Where you have a president who is in parliament, he's in the judiciary, he's in the law enforcement agencies. No, these institutions must be separated. So we must have a constitution that really helps to reduce presidential powers. And that's why we have come together as a team. Tapari starring Bano. Huh? No starring. Woza? Yeah. Federalism and decentralization. People, the Constitution must establish a system of government that allows for decentralization and devolution of power to the people through the local government. Not where a minister must insist it has to be like this. Amen? Okay. Transparency and accountability, consensus building. These are some of the most cardinal and constitutional amendments that have been consistently submitted by Zambians but have been ignored by our leaders. It's with the foregoing in mind, among many other factors, including the fact that the constitution-making process should not be tied to an election cycle. Okay, it mustn't be about that. So as soon as we come in as WOZA, we are going to begin a process, not at when we see the elections and then we start doing things. Finally, I want to, I didn't get permission from my colleagues, but I want to say this to State House, who sent us a challenge to say, can you come and tell us on a clause-by-clause basis what you have against Bill 7? What we are saying is, we cannot sit to legitimize an illegitimate process. If that process is illegitimate, do you really expect us to come and sit and legitimize that? No, we are not going to do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, President Kateka from the New Heritage Party. The next speaker, Mr. Chairman, holds a doctorate of divinity from Yale University. The Right Reverend Dr. Msonda Trevor Mwamba is president of the United Independence National Party, UNIP, our first political party. Bishop Mwamba was formerly Bishop of Botswana and Bishop in the Church of England and Diocese of Europe, based in Berlin, Germany. Bishop Trevor Mwamba is a lawyer by training and a former banker. He was educated in Zambia, in America, and England. He trained for the priesthood at St. Stephen's House in Oxford. Please help me to welcome Bishop Dr. Trevor Mwamba.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony, the chairperson, the vice chair, council of presidents, the media, my brothers and sisters, fellow Zambians. One Zambia.
One nation.
We have heard a passionate appeal from the chairperson, a call to turn back the pages of our history and rediscover the foundational values that gave birth to our nation. It is a powerful reminder that the struggles of the past must not be forgotten, but rather serve as a moral compass to us for the future. There is an African proverb that speaks to this. Your ancestors say, when you remember us, you remember your power. In this remembrance, we remember the vision of UNIP. One Zambia.
One nation.
One Zambia.
One nation.
The United National Independence Party, UNIP, was not merely a political movement. It was the engine of self-determination. Its core values, under the philosophy of humanism, championed by our first president, Kenneth Kaunda, were clear and remain acutely relevant today. First, unity and non-tribalism. The timeless motto, One Zambia, One Nation, was the ultimate declaration of independence. It is a refusal to let ethnic division replace colonial rule. This principle of national cohesion, of balancing representation, and valuing every group must be fiercely defended against the currents of division we see rising today. Second, human dignity and welfare. Humanism placed the human being at the center of all development. It mandated that economic and social growth must primarily uplift the welfare of the people, especially the poor and vulnerable. Are we truly living up to this ideal when disparities widen and our people feel relegated to the fringe? We must demand a return to policies that ensure equitable access to education, health care, and productive resources. Third, independence and self-reliance. The UNIP era defined our non-aligned foreign policy and efforts towards economic self-reliance, a drive to control our own destiny, rather than simply being a passive recipient of foreign interests. A return to the spirit of independence means prioritizing national interests above all else and making choices that benefit Zambians first. Finally, we remember that our independence is more than a date. The push for independence was not just hoisting a new flag on October the 24th, 1964. It was a covenant, a commitment to peace, a commitment to justice, a commitment to liberty, and the pursuit of a prosperous future for all Zambians. If we are truly to honor our ancestors, our founders, and the promise of independence, we must do more than just evoke their names. We must embody their courage and integrity. We must restore civic participation, uphold the full separation of powers, executive, judiciary, and legislature, and ensure that the collective voice of the civic society, the church, and the press is not just heard, but respected.
Yay!
The torch of independence has been passed to us. Woza! Woza! Let us therefore reignite it with the original fire of unity and humanism. bequeathed by UNEP, let us work toward a just, fair, and open society where the gap between the rich and the poor is narrow, and every citizen can look forward to a dignified future. One Zambia,
One nation.
we are One Zambia Alliance. Woza!
Woza.
God bless Zambia.
Thank you very much, Bishop. This is indeed a unique bishop. Exact time. Mr. Chairman, the next speaker is simply called, he likes to call himself Amkapembwa Simbao. He's a registered engineer, and he holds a Bachelor of Engineering degree, a Master's Engineering degree, and is pursuing a PhD in engineering. He has 20 years of professional work at Zamefa, where he rose to the position of plant manager. He served as an MP for to speak to us as Woza. Honorable Dr. Kapembwa Simbao.
Mr. Chairman, please allow me to write on the protocols already established to cut on time. We are One Zambia Alliance. We are One Zambia Alliance. It doesn't matter where you come from. We don't look at names. We don't look at even the language that you are talking about. We just look at the fact that you are Zambian. That's why we are saying we are Woza. Now, the chairman here did say, in other languages that says come to us. So, I've been given one of the elephants in the room to talk to, or one of the elephants in Zambia to talk to. And I think it's for the purpose that as Woza, we don't just want to speak politics, we also want to speak economics and other things. So the item I've been asked to address is the energy crisis in the country. I'll give you just a short brief so that it brings you up to date. In the last 4 years, we have jumped from the frying pan to the fire. You know, in 2021, the load shedding we're experiencing was not like the one we have today. That's what they say, jumping from a frying pan to a fire. We have jumped. Now, this has brought about a very excruciating, debilitating, and unbearable suffering to a Zambian. The Zambian people are annoyed. N'abafulwa. Ngatamungwa n'abantu ine balampapusha onsenga wamwipusha kwatika tuchifintu wamuchi. Kusasuka ababe balanda tu kusasuka. Ichi cha energy chila chibengira mu ngopa n'abafulwa. Abana be school, they go to school hungry because there's no fire or energy to make their breakfast. Aba womba wengi wanamayo na washitaka ili nzibaisa kunganda takuli malaiti tabachisa nabatemu okutamba empali awo nabakita misi abantu nabafulwa eryo nomba. When you look at this issue, it comes down to an issue of failure. This government has failed. And the beauty about it, the president himself agrees. I think you have heard him on the issue of energy. He has said, we as government and you, we have failed. We want to say, no, it's not us, it's he. We should make it very clear today that it's not us, it's he who has failed. At least he has accepted. And me, I can see this failure. There is no light. I can't see any light anywhere. I heard at one time one of his ministers saying he's seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. And he was talking about energy. And he says that tunnel is growing shorter. I can't see any light. Everything is black. So there is no hope that this government can change things on energy. The president has resigned on this issue that he can't. If you can feel this failure, I'm feeling it so bad. So we, as One Zambia Alliance, we have a solution. Because we have noted that in trying to buy time, this government does not want to take responsibility. So we want to advise them as to how, as we, Woza, are going to do it. The immediate action, I want you to follow me. Woza. Yeah, I'm reading now. I'm not asking for your response. Woza shall take full advantage of Zambia's photovoltaic power potential. Now, photovoltaic means the sun. There is no limitation with what you can do with the sun where energy is concerned. There's no limitation. It's different from hydro. Hydro, you can do so much because there are certain places where you can build it. But with solar, everywhere, the whole of Zambia can use solar energy. So we want to tap into that. We want to put up a company that will run parallel to ZESCO to put solar power on all houses. It's not this business where this present government is telling you go and buy solar. Only a few can do that. And they are not being fair. They should do it like we do with ZESCO. You go and install and people start paying for the energy that you install for them. So we are going to do that. And we intend to power, like this university. This university, are you the generator? Yes. This university, they are treated like it's not a school. When you hear Yunza, CBU, they are celebrating because they never experienced power shortages. But the students here, it's like they are not Zambians. They have power load shedding. This must stop. We as Woza are going to treat all schools, private, public, all hospitals, private, public, the same. And we are going to address this problem of shortage by solar installation. Now, you must understand that when we do that, we are going to save power from the power grid, from ZESCO. so that now that power that we save from ZESCO goes into industry. Our SMEs have ground to a halt. They need power. They need ZESCO power, because solar power might not be sufficient for welding. It draws a lot of current. So they need ZESCO power. So that power we shall save by installing solar everywhere will now go to power the SMEs. They are not going to cry anymore about power. Those are the first and very quick successes that one can do. What they call low-hanging fruits. Those are the ones you go for. You don't go just for talking. You know, this government, when they were in opposition, they seem to have had so many brilliant ideas. I don't know if you followed them. They were talking of moving water from Wapula to Kafiwe. You know, but you wonder where all that knowledge has disappeared. It's just gone. They are just blank. So what we are saying is this. You go for low-hanging fruits. Mr. Dangote was here. And Mr. Dangote made us look like fools. He says, you have so much coal. Oh my God. You are not supposed to be complaining about energy. You have so much coal. He made us look so foolish. Because no one has taken coal as a very serious source of energy. We all want to look at hydro. We, as OZA, want to change that approach. We believe we can make about not less than 2,000 megawatts of power from coal. Just the minimum, not the 300 watts that we are talking about. So, we intend to handle this energy problem seriously and concisely, so that never should we have a power problem in this country. Can you believe it that we are the only country in Africa complaining about this problem? Have you heard that from Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Botswana? You know, all the countries surrounding us, even DRC, you don't hear of them complaining about power. So what have we become? We are a big laughing stock. And believe me, we as WOZA are the solution to this problem. So, I want to say this, because this is connected. Right now, Vambia vale tumfwa, vale tuseka, you know. They are saying, tumapato tunono. They are just speaking small things. You know, we are answering to the core of all the Zambians who are saying, come together. That's what all the Zambians are saying. Come together, because the only way you can unseat, the only way to go from Pulapo, uyu muntu, or ipate in power, is if we combine our efforts. This is just the beginning, and we want to call all our friends in the opposition that please come and join us. Our doors are open. We want everyone here so that together we can have a new government in 2026. WOZA! Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Honorable Katemba Simbao, for giving us an idea on the energy crisis in the country. Nama light febasa ngirete ya ZESCO. Badi senda bapira banao balishtisha. You know about the Canona scandal? Yes, they know what they are doing. But the OZA arrangement will make them account for those things they are doing. The next speaker, Mr. Chairman, Dr. Ponga Bupe brings a wealth of experience in leadership and administration that spans work for the Commonwealth Secretariat in London, the United Nations systems, and as permanent secretary in the government of the Republic of Zambia. Dr. Ponga, she's also currently lecturing at the university. My good sister, big sister, and the chairman of the Zambia We Want. Please, chairperson. She's very good with that. Please help me in welcoming the chairperson, the vice chairperson of WOZA, Dr. Ponga.
Kwai. Enisha. Okay. So, good afternoon. I will ride on the protocols already observed. And I just want to say that we have gathered not just as supporters of a cause, but as custodians of our nation's future. So, muishire kuno, not ukwisa mkusapota. Nifwe tulesungirira, kunta nshuko tuleya. Mike, okay. Can you hear me better now? Yes. Thank you. I was saying, we are here not just as supporters of a cause, but as custodians of our nation's future. Please remember that even as we proceed. We are standing here united by a shared belief that Zambia deserves principled leadership, real development, and a government that listens to its people. Before we look ahead to the journey still before us, let us take a moment to reflect on the important milestones that we have achieved and those that we have set for ourselves. So far, the WOZA Alliance Secretariat has been set up. We have been working on strategic documents that cover the governance framework, some of the issues that my colleagues have spoken to. A conceptual framework that is going to say how WOZA will function as an alliance and the relationship that each party will have to another within WOZA. We have been working on that, almost complete. We are developing a social contract. Tatulefoi fifia kwa tuwa milaya, then iliatuwa ingira, taibala, kuchitina promise achani. Mwala tuitati bashi promise na wana promise tuwakana. So the social contract we are going to sign will be kuli to the different sectors within society. We shall go to the church mother bodies, we shall go to civil society, we shall go to our traditional leaders and say, saine nyapa na ipo tu saine. And this is what we are promising we will do so that we are held accountable. We are working on a process of how we will select our candidates. It's different parties and many more parties are being called to join us. So we want to have a framework. How do we come together and put all our candidates together? We are working on that. Because now confusion. Eloma parties in India, they form an alliance. So we've taken all that into consideration and we are going step by step. When it comes to candidates, within the alliance, we also are agreeing with one another. Process of choosing the special vehicle. Ikabashani special purpose vehicle tukasala kweba chitukemina pali party. we are talking to one another. We are talking to one another about a process of choosing a shadow cabinet. And we'll be going back to our parties, and we have started already. Okay, but this is the process we are undertaking. We are working on the alliance or constitutional charter, alliance charter, alliance constitution. As we come together, we do need an MOU. We do need a charter that we all agree to. And from the page that we'll all be reading. So that is work in progress. We have some criteria and we are working on more. How do we admit other member political parties? So that even as you are coming in, we already have our values that we shall not depart from. You've heard most of the speakers here have said that we require Messiah leader who knows it all, a advisor, a implementer, a. We have said no. When we come together, we shall be a team with one among us as a leader, one of us, not one who oversees and dominates. There are policy documents and a manifesto in progress. You already heard President Simbao spoke to energy. President Tshisekedi spoke to economic empowerment, economic independence. We are working to see how this policy document on land, for example, will be. Twalikwata rules and regulations which tell us how much land to give. We've ignored that. To the extent that people can come in here, if they are businesses, you're supposed to give them a limited number of years that they work with that land. For 5 years, if they don't produce, Mwababoka. No, Baba Muisa are finding it easier to get land than ourselves. How shall we own the processes of development if the land is not owned by the Zambians? We are speaking to youth and job creation. It's a big issue. We are speaking to agriculture and food sovereignty, not just food security. Please take time to look up the difference between food sovereignty and food security. We're looking at large and small-scale mining, ownership and economic empowerment, infrastructure. We are looking at the civil service. How can it best serve this country as a civil service? We are also looking at the leadership team. Who makes decisions and how? We will have, just as we have come here, when our manifesto of the alliance will be launched, we will let you know. We are working on that. When I spoke to members of parliament, cabinet, it is including councillors. How do we do that adoption of candidates? We want all these things very clear even before we start. I therefore wish to inform you that we're looking at electing the flag bearer of Woza by at least 24th January. By 24th January, we shall know who the flag bearer of Woza will be, and the process has begun. After that, we'll also know who the running mate will be. Currently, we are busy mobilizing resources to make sure that we have a campaign that is engaging the public as far wide in this country as possible. That's the roadmap. I may have left out some things, but there shall be soon a document to share with all of you. I want to remind all of us that our collective strength, our resilience, and our unwavering commitment to building the Zambia we all want and deserve is what WOZA is about. We are One Zambia Alliance. WOZA! 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 Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you very much. WOZA! Akalimbo akanono. Tapali abachenjera kwena show up. Thank you very much. The chairman helped me, to introduce the person as we draw closer to ending the program. The chairman helped me to introduce this Tumbuka fellow. The chairman talked about him highly. He is no other than Mohavi Lungu from Lundazi. He was a student, as the chairman referred to him, but also he worked with Super Ken at a very young age. At just only about 27 years, he was a special assistant to Super Ken. So, Andiford Banda, also there's another fellow, Yobruru. I know this is your brother-in-law. This is another young man who has worked and given his time and dedication to this country. I'm proud to call him as a colleague and a friend, Mohavi Lungu.
Thank you. Okay. I would have had a long speech to make, but I think that there have been quite a number of speeches. What I can only say is that I, as the Interim Secretary General who has been selected and asked to do this as my colleagues, will be holding updates regularly to be able to get the public to understand what we are doing. The process that we have selected in terms of selecting a flag bearer, the process that we have agreed on in terms of coming up with a shadow cabinet, the process that we've agreed on in terms of all the parties working together. We want it to be very open, transparent, and very visible to you, members of the 5 political parties that have currently started this journey. And we also want it to be very open and transparent to the public and to those other political parties who we are asking to come and join us. The objective of this is really for us to be able to be as strong as we can in order to defeat this current government. So with that said, to members of the press, I will be holding frequent press liaisons with you to just look at those details in which we are doing. So there is the final date of maybe the 24th, that we will have a flag bearer, but there are days before that in which we are going to be able to have an electoral register, in which we are going to be able to invite other people from the church mother bodies to help select a candidate. There will be the date of filing of nominations, and we hope that all of those dates will be able to be open enough to allow other colleagues who are not seated with us here, because many of them have indicated that they will be coming. So that this is just the beginning of the process. So let me do what I was supposed to do, and that was basically to thank the members of the press for coming, to thank the members of all the 5 political parties that are here, and I can see that everybody is here. So I thank you. You all look lovely in blue, in white, in green, in black, and so on, all of the various member parties that have come here, and I know that many more wanted to come. But there will be opportunities for others to come and show their solidarity. I thank the high table, the chairman, the vice chair, all of the presidents, the master of ceremony who have been able to put this thing together. I thank the eminent people who have come to join us. We thank Lutubam University for giving us the opportunity to hold this thing here. And we would like to appeal to all of us here to bind together. for the sake of making sure that our alliance goes forward, and that come August 13, 2026, HH and the UPND will be saying goodbye to us, because we will have a president from this alliance going forward and taking the country forward. We are committed to this cause, and I guarantee you that the people who are seated here in the high table are prepared to give sweat and blood so that we may be able to lead and lift the people of Zambia to the next phase. I thank you all. Thank you.
Please don't go, SG, don't go. Please come back. We'll have, please come. He's always my Secretary General, but it's always supposed to be my, somebody was saying that it's my handbag. You know. So, Chair, with your permission, I will now invite, we will invite the people from the media, our colleagues from the media, to ask some questions or clarity on one or two things in case you missed something from chairperson, vice chair, or any of the presidents. If you need some clarity or some question to any of the people here in front. Questions? I see none.
No.
Major Kamau.
I have one question. We are One Zambia Alliance is the latest political alliance after Kwacha and the Tonse Alliance. My question to you is, what are some of the challenges you have in forming one alliance and work together as one, rather than having fragmented alliances? Because the two alliances, but this one will compete against each other. That will as well split the which will work towards your disadvantage. Thank you.
I'll ask SG to answer that one.
Yeah, I think that, thank you for the question. The truth of the matter is this, that when we started this discussion, all of the alliances which you have mentioned, basically being UCA and Tonse, which are the two main alliances we know, have been part of this process. So you can see on this table members who were part of the UCA alliance. I'm sure that you can see those. In regard to Tonse, we have always communicated that the Patriotic Front as an anchor party was always a member of the discussions that we've been having. One of the reasons why they are not here is, as you know, that they're still in the process of choosing their flag bearer. So it is our hope, and we are working towards meeting all of the various groups, and we're already in talks to them, that at some stage before we get to the 24th of January, that some of those, as individual member political parties, will be part of this alliance. There are some in this room, but I will not mention it, but we are all working towards one union. So we are not ignoring them at all. We believe that this will be the initiative which will bring everybody together.
Thank you, SG. Any further? Please come.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, high table. My name is Jeff Kapemwa. I have a similar name with my honorable member of parliament. I just wanted to find out, since you are looking at January as getting on the ground to go around the country, do you really have enough time? Because I'm looking at other matters that may arise along the way. Would that be enough between January and the August when we expect elections to take place. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that question. And I believe what you're saying is that 24th, that is when we have our flag bearer. If you noticed with our address, we did state that we're not looking for a messiah. We believe that the Zambians are also not looking for a messiah. What they're looking for is a team of people, credible people, who have got answers to some of the problems that we have as Zambia. So we're not just going to be sitting around waiting until the day when we announce the flag bearer, but we'll be going around the country, selling the team to the people of Zambia, and also selling the message. We believe that the message is the most important thing. It is not the flag bearer, but the message and the team, which is the most important. So we are starting right now, so we're not out of time. Thank you.
Oza is a team, Rajef. Oza is a team, and there's no Messiah. We don't believe in the messianic leadership. This is why we are in this mess, because we expect one guy to fix it all. Any further? We're done. Okay. Thank you. Last one is Kapolo from Lundazi. Lundazi na Rafulalelo.
I want to pose a question to the members of parliament. Through you, through your organization, and directly to them. They should reject Bill 7. Remember, Bill 7 is for the people. As it is, it's not. From what we understand, some of you have been paid money or being offered money. I want to remind you of the story of the rat in the house that found a trap and asked the chicken, the goat, the cow for assistance. Eventually the snake came through, bit the owner of the house, and he died. All those who refused to assist were all slaughtered. A time will come for you, members of parliament, who think that you committed offenses and you think you can be covered, that Mulandu Suwola. I want to remind you through Hoza, the members of parliament, in 2001, Chiluba had the numbers, or he thought he had the numbers. I was a member of parliament then. One of the 22 who were expelled for refusing the third term. We rejected it. And I spoke at the Oasis Forum 1 that time. We rejected, and Chiluba withdrew. You too have a responsibility to reject this Bill 7. Like they rejected Bill 10 in 2021 and they danced at Community House. I'm appealing to you all members of parliament to reject Bill 7 and look at it for the point of view for us, the commoners. In particular for members of parliament from Eastern Province, I want to remind you of your responsibility. The clarion call from the church appealing to all of us to get together, get a Zambia that everybody wants, the Zambia we want. I know most of you. If you think you will be covered after this Bill 7 has been passed, because of the past mistakes you made, you will remember me. You definitely will come and remember.
Woza.
My question to you, the members of parliament, is, are you a Zambian? Is this Bill 7 the Zambia that every Zambian wants? Do the right thing. For once, do the right thing. I thank you.
Mr. Chairman, we have now come to a very special time where the members and the President's Council will now append their signature to a conceptual framework. So, Chair, Woza coming together for real change, conceptual framework and effective memorandum of understanding amongst the following political parties: the New Heritage Party, the People's Alliance for Change, the United Liberal Party, United National Independence Party, and the Zambia We Want. Today, we will show the Zambian people that they have heard the clarion call which most Zambians have been calling for. They are now signing. The paper and the document is going through. I hope the cameras can catch the people signing. I can tell. They are now signing, committing themselves, committing each other, committing one another to this cause. We are One Zambia Alliance. Woza. We'll circulate to the media so that you know that we are truthful and transparent. There's nothing that will be done in secrecy. This is a Zambia.
At the United Liberal Party. All of us here are the PAC. We are all here in a coalition and an agreement to be an alliance with the people. That is PAC. So we look forward to all of us here embracing all of the other groups that have not come. For together we will be able to see the light of a new day.
Thank you very much, Secretary General. May we be upstanding for the national anthem? Woza.